Okay, let's begin. Hi everyone, I'm Medhina. Welcome to the safe and cozy space of the internet. Today I'm doing Booktube newbie tag questions. So let's begin with the first question. Why did you start this channel? I really love reading. I've been reading for a long time. I used to read back when I was a kid in school, so I love reading. I love going to the bookstore. I love smelling books. I love watching Booktube and consuming all the book talk content. So books has been a part of my life as long as I can remember. But most of my friends don't read, my partner doesn't read, so I don't have anybody to share how I feel about books, and I would really love to be the part of a community where people actually understand what reading feels like. So that's why I started this channel, just to share my love for books and just to be a part of this like-minded community where people actually understand what reading feels like, if that makes sense. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? Something fun would be like, I love watching book vlogs. I love watching like 24 hours readathon. I love watching the challenge videos where people read 7 books in 7 days, something like that. Even though it would be a bit much for me, I would love to try like any of those challenges. I love to do reading vlog. I think that would be something fun. And something unique that I can bring to Booktube would be, I guess, my voice. I don't see lots of people that look like me. Like, I don't see lots of Southeast Asian people in Booktube. So I've followed some Booktuber from Southeast Asian community, but I haven't seen a lot of people from my community. So I think just having that voice would be something unique, and I'll definitely love to connect with people from my community and from everywhere else around the world. Moving on to the third question, which is, what are you most excited for about this new channel? As I said before, I don't have lots of people with whom I can discuss books with. Really just having this community where I'll be able to share my love for books, where I'll be able to recommend books and get some book recommendation. I'm quite shy and I don't talk a lot, and I'm very nervous talker, so I'm very excited to sort of like move out of my comfort zone and share my love for books. Why do you love reading? Wow, I love this question. Why do you love reading? I love reading because reading is like, I can escape into a different world. I love reading because it makes me think, it makes me love, it makes me smile, it makes me cry, and it makes me understand human better. I love reading because reading just brings so much emotion and so much empathy and so much happiness into my life. I cannot imagine my life without reading. I love the smell of books, I love buying books, I love reading books, I love talking about books, I love watching things on YouTube about books. Like, book consume me like nothing else. Maybe that's the reason I love reading. Okay, moving on. What books or series got you into reading? For me, it would be Harry Potter series. I essentially don't agree with J.K. Rowling's idea or what she stands for, but I really love Harry Potter. Like, I love it with all my heart. I don't have words to explain how much I love Harry Potter, because that was the book that got me into reading. I was just a kid who didn't care about reading, and back in school, probably I was around grade 9, so the first time I started reading Harry Potter, I was so lost into the world, and that really made me realize what reading feels like. It can take you to another dimension, it can make you feel things that you don't feel in the first place. And I used to read probably till 12 or 1 at night. So one of the books that got me into reading is the Harry Potter series, definitely. And back in my school days, we used to have lots of collection of old classic, and since I didn't have much money to buy books, I would generally read from my school's library. And I used to read Agatha Christie books, I used to read Goosebumps. Those are the books that got me into reading. What question would you ask your favorite booktubers? I think if I got a chance to ask my favorite booktuber, I would ask, how are they so articulate? Sometimes I feel so difficult to explain what I feel about books, even though I have lots of thoughts buzzing in my head. And when I watch some booktubers, they are so articulate and they explain things so well. So I would ask them that. And another thing would be, how do they manage their time? Like, I came to realize, like, editing a video, shooting a video is a lot of work. So if they are working, how do they manage their time? How do they figure out what to do, and how do they plan content, I guess? That would be the things I would ask my favorite booktubers. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? One of the challenges that would be hardest to overcome is actually managing time. I am studying, I am working, so finding a time to read and then record and shoot would be quite challenging for me. And also letting go of the fear of being judged is also something that I'm looking to overcome. Not thinking about what other people think and just sharing my love for book would be the hardest challenge for me to overcome. Next question is, when did you start reading? I started reading probably when I was in grade 8 or 9. Like, I went to a different school, and then the library there was really good. Like, it was a big library. One day I just happened to get into the library and I picked up a book, and I think I never left from there. But then I went to university and I started reading less back when I was in university because I didn't have much time. But now I'm beginning to read again and I'm loving it. I'm just loving it. Where do you read? I think I read everywhere. I read in trains, I read in buses, I read, most of the time I read in my home, of course. I have a special small reading nook where I read. I read in my balcony, I read in bed, like everywhere, anywhere and everywhere I can have few moments, I read. So everywhere. What kind of books do you like to read? For me, I'm more drawn into magical realism, contemporary fiction and literary fiction. Mostly I love literary fiction. I've read a lot of it. So that would be that. But I love to get into non-fiction, poetry. I love to get into romance as well, because I don't read lots of romance, but I see romance books circulating around in Booktube a lot, so I would love to give it a try and see how that goes. So the last question is, what does your book collection look like? I don't have lots of storage space, so I just have one medium-sized bookshelf where I keep all of my collection. I have few series, few lit fic, few contemporary fiction. I just keep all of my book there. Sometime I would make a TBR and keep it on top of myself so that I know what book I need to read. But most of the time I just display my books, and I'm a very moody reader, so I'll grab whatever I feel like reading at that day or at that time. If you are watching till now, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. This is just my second video and I'm not very used to it. I hope I did well, and I'll see you next time. Bye.